Good morning, house. It's a great pleasure to welcome you to our fifth FAJIM Medicare Foundation Scholarship Award Ceremony. It's the fifth edition, and FAJIM has been soaring high, and we are very glad and pleased to have this again. It has become an annual tonic for us. We must appreciate the drivers led by our vet prof. Thank you for this again, for all those who have joined globally. Some global participants even joined earlier than some of us here in Nigeria. We thank you for the commitment and all of that. So without much ado, we know why we are here, the fifth scholarship award ceremony of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. And this is apart from the scholarship, FAJIM does so many other things. One of such is the medical outreach that takes them around the federation. They've really made a mark in that regard. Just a quick rundown of our personalities, and I'm sure some of them are already on the platform. We have as our chairman, Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, Managing Director, Broomstable Investments Limited, Lagos. Thank you very much for joining us. We have Alhaji Musbaudin Oyefeso, that's one of our own, MD CEO of Volta Investment Limited, our special guest. Our guest lecturer is Adedotu Eyinade, co-founder, CEO of Roving Heights. Thank you for coming. And our own very dear, effervescent, articulate, Alhaja Chief Bilkis Olatukumbo Shonaike. Some of us call her Auntie Ayoka, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Bilkis Quality Fabrics Limited. She's our mother of the day. Thank you for coming. And our father of the day is also our own, our very dear own, that has been with us from the inception of this foundation, from all ramification, Alhaji Adeniji Adeyemi, the MD Starling Global and Ideal Limited. If they are not all here yet, we know that they will soon join us. Of course, the main drivers are chairman, Alhaji Jamiu Abdulkarim, the chairman board of trustees, of course, the better half of our own vet prof, who is the founder of the foundation, Professor Fatima Biade Abdulkarim, is already on the platform. And we have other members, our own dear prof, who I call the Siamese twin of prof, so Professor Umbi Banjo. So with that, there are so many other people, but let's halt it there for now and continue with the program of events. I dare say that you're all welcome. So, Prof, do we start with the national anthem? This is national anthem is some of us oldies are familiar with it. So I want to believe that we can sing it if we don't have the sound, the audio to back it up for us.
Yeah. Yes.
So if we can all unmute and sing it so that we can commence the program proper. After the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our dear flag. No tribal tongue lifting curious sovereign of the land.
I think we should hold it there. Let's stop at the first stanza so that we can save time. It has been, the point is made. So it's a great pleasure to call on our own BOT chairman, our own father, our daddy, our supporter, a great administrator, astute politician. I won't forget that about him. Let's call on Alhaji Jamil Abdulkarim to give us his opening remarks. The BOT chair, sir, over to you.
BOT chair is...
I thought you were out there at...
not online yet.
Well,
so we can go on.
is the chairman of the day here?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I've not been able to. Okay, you the Zoom user?
Yes, that's the Zoom user. I mean.
Okay, let me rename you. Okay.
The BOT chair is not here yet.
Okay, you can see the chairman now.
Yes, I can. So do we step down the BOT remarks?
Yes, for now, for now. I think where he is, the network is giving him some issues. Will join us.
Okay. Let me confirm. Okay, so before we bring in the chairman of the day to give us his pep talk, let's have a bit of a short citation. Some of the people we have on the platform today, their resume are quite intimidating, but for the purpose of this webinar, we've decided to abridge some because the attention span really for webinar is a bit short. So if we read your citation that you think is too brief, just bear with us. Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Linguistics from University of Ibadan, graduate, a Master's of Business Administration in International Trade Finance from Lagos State University. He is an experienced banker with career spanning 17 years in treasury, foreign exchange, management, and business generation. He has attended many trainings and courses organized by Central Bank of Nigeria, financial institutions, training center, and London Currency Trading School. He has worked at the senior management levels in Treasury and International Operation Department of many banks in Nigeria before he resigned in 2008 to venture into business. He started Broomsdale Investment Limited, an entity that engages in financial investments, financial advisory services, importation, and general merchandise. He's married to Olaoluwapo Maria Akinlabi, and the marriage is blessed with 2 lovely children. Chairman, you are most welcome to the platform, and we appreciate what you have done so far and what you're still doing. So it's a great pleasure to call on our chairman of the day, Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, to give us his remarks. Thank you. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, man. Thank you, the moderator. We thank God for the opportunity we have to come together today for FAJIM. And I pray that the Almighty God will continue to be with us and sustain us. I want to say that I'm delighted to and I have the pleasure to be the chairman of the 52nd Scholarship Award ceremony of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. It's a great pleasure to be here, and I want to thank the organizer for counting me worthy to chair such an auspicious occasion as FAJIM Scholarship Award. I pray that God will continue to bless all the organizers and the founder of this great organization or institution. I want to say that I've followed FAJIM's activities and the impact it has had on our communities since inception. And I can proudly say that FAJIM has a story of success. And having read that FAJIM has done about 6,554 healthcare screening for Nigerians, about 1,996 free medical treatments, and then over 136 scholarship that have been awarded to deserving undergraduate in our tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Then there's no doubt about it in my mind that FAJIM is actually fulfilling its mission, which is to promote preventive healthcare, preventive healthcare education in Nigeria. One of the things that I saw and I read in FAJIM's vision is the fact that FAJIM is committed to improving the health status of Nigeria with emphasis on undeserved communities. And also notice that the slogan says, hand to hand, together we can. And this reminds me of a cultural value that originated from a place called Bantu and Xhosa communities in South Africa. The cultural value is called Ubuntu. It emphasizes the importance of the community and the collective good over individual interests. It means humanity to others. The Ubuntu core belief is that I am what I am because of who we are. So this value is saying that we cannot just be comfortable on our own, but definitely the comfortability of other people around us, we should be mindful of it. Therefore, I want to say that FAJIM brings the spirit of Ubuntu to healthcare services. The founders of FAJIM are successful people in their various chosen careers. Particularly, I want to say Professor Fatima Abdul-Karim is a successful medical practitioner. She will have been comfortable with her success and sufficiencies in her chosen field. But having realized that 50% of Nigerians live in extreme poverty with no possibility of affording the cost of health or healthcare services in Nigeria. Professor Karim, knowing that healthcare is key to sustain life, and we always have the proverb that says that health is wealth, and actually any human being that has no health has no life, because everything that we do in life can be. So the establishment of FAJIM to help less privileged people in our community is a very, very important thing to create. So I want to say I appreciate the work FAJIM is doing once again. And I would like to say that one of the quotes of one of our successful businessmen in Nigeria, the man called Alain Onyema, the owner of Earpiece, he says, working hard to seizing opportunity for personal benefit is normal. But beyond normal, there is greater satisfaction in being among successful people than being a successful individual. I think that is the philosophy of the people that found FAJIM. Just like I said before, that they're all successful in their own various fields. but they're looking at how they can help humanity and how they can make greatness common, how they can make other people happy even as they are happy. Because happiness is real only when we share. When it is shared, that is when emotionally and in every way we feel that we are happy ourselves. There's a Yoruba proverb that says, one rich man among 1,000 impoverished people is a poor person himself. And with this philosophy that starts FAJIM and makes more people to become more wealthy, even health-wise, it's a good thing that we lay our hands on. And it's a good program that has been going on with FAJIM. So I want to urge each and every one of us to that are committed to this program, not only to remain committed, but to renew our commitment into the program. I've been following the program since inception, and I know that FAJIM has made greater impact in the community. And for them to continue to do well, we need more support. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why I'm encouraging every one of us to make sure that we support FAJIM and what FAJIM is doing in society to make us have a better place. Like I've said before, happiness is real only when we share. On this note, I congratulate the founders of FAJIM for the progress that has been made so far in the last 5 years, for touching lives positively and sharing their happiness with others. I wish FAJIM greater achievement in its service to humanity. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you as we go on with the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Very well said and very well put. We appreciate what you have been doing. We know that from the inception, just like you said, you've always been with us. And I also want to plead with you that to remain with us all through this webinar. You don't say you have made your presentation and you rush off to other pressing things. Let's continue to savor and relish all the goodness of FAJIM, particularly as this webinar lasts. You have talked about, thank you so much. Thanks for that commitment. You have glowingly talked about what we have done in the past 5 years. Let me also use this opportunity to thank you specially for what you have done beyond what you have been doing. Shortly before this webinar, we got a whooping sum of 1 million naira to support the scholarship. Ditto other people. I know that there's already a slot scheduled for this, but let me quickly encourage others who haven't done so to quickly, do so now while the webinar is ongoing so that we can acknowledge as it were. And I'm sure those in the technical will display the account details so that the donations can continue to roll in. So Chairman, we thank you so much for your very, very wonderful presentation, your encouragement and the motivation you have given to us with your presentation. So thank you, and like you have made your commitment, you continue to stay with us all through the webinar. We know that we have all been together since the inception of FAJIM. Thank you very much. So do we have the BOT chair on the platform now?
Thank you.
Because I am
yes, I am.
Okay, interesting. So thank you so far for staying with us, and let me also thank all those who have deemed it worthwhile to support, to donate to this cause, even before the webinar. Like I said, periodically the account details will be displayed so that you can also donate yours. Whatever you spend in this cause is worthy of it. Like the chairman said, you can't be satisfied and people around you are hungry. You can't be wealthy and people around you are poor. You can't be, have the wherewithal. You won't even be happy to see people milling around you and they are not, they are in want. So those are profound statements from the chairman, and I'm sure that should motivate us to do a lot for FAJIM. That is the main thrust is to take care of the underserved, just like the chairman said, and that's our mantra, hand in hand together with care. So if we have the BOT chair on the platform now, can we get your opening remarks so that we can continue with the program? Permits me to call on
Hello.
Alhaji Jamil Abdul Karim, a good administrator, a politician, a father, and our BOT chair. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good morning. I hope you can hear me.
Good morning, sir. We're hearing you.
Okay. Good morning to you all. It is with immense joy and gratitude that I welcome you all to the 5th Scholarship Award ceremony of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. I'm especially honored to acknowledge our distinguished guests. I wish to say, with the caliber of people invited this year event has a touch of the private sector. Your presence greatly honors us, and we are deeply thankful. As we gather virtually today, I wish to say that let us reflect on the theme of this year's guest lecture, the power of perseverance, turning obstacles into possibilities in a world filled with challenges. It is through this determination, resilience, and collaboration that we can create real, lasting change. To our awardees, I say congratulations. Your achievements inspire hope for the future, and we are proud to support your aspirations. I would also like to take this opportunity to appreciate our incredible team, from the members of the board of trustees, the management, and the founder herself for their dedication. I also want to acknowledge the dedication of the volunteers and loyal sponsors. Without your unwavering support and sacrifice, we will not be able to achieve the impact we celebrate today. Finally, I express my heartfelt appreciation to everyone joining us virtually today. Your presence means the world to us, and we are deeply grateful that you have chosen to be part of this celebration. Thank you once again for honoring us with your presence. I welcome you all to what promises to be a memorable and impactful event. Thank you, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Revered BOT chair, thanks for your support all the way, and thank you for your speech. Thank you for welcoming us. I know network had an issue earlier. We could have had yours before the chairman's speech. So all the same, we appreciate what you have done. Power of perseverance. That's the theme for this webinar. So, in fact, this where we are now, the state of the globe, I can't call it nation. We just need to persevere. And it is through perseverance that the FAJIM has endured for the past 5 years. In spite of the hardship and all of that, drivers have thought it wise to continue with the mantra. And that is quite apt in what we are having today. Thank you so much for everybody on the platform again. We have the father of the day on the platform. It's his turn to give us his pep talk. Elijah Adeniji. We step that down for something else if he's not here. While we are waiting his arrival or his response, let's quickly move on to the mother of the day who's been with us for a while. And she's no other than Alhaja Bilkis Ayoka Shonaike. She is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Bilkis Quality Fabrics. She was one of our own, a seasoned entrepreneur. Yes, you need to see her at her office, making directives to all her staff and all of that, with extensive travel experience across the globe. She holds a background in catering and hotel management. Wow, no wonder. Having studied at Yaba College of Technology and Federal Polytechnic Bauchi, Alhaja Bilkis gained valuable experience during her time at Sheraton Hotel and Towers, really, Lagos, before venturing into private business. A devoted philanthropist, her selfless contributions to society have earned her several prestigious chieftaincy awards, including, if I need to reel out everything, we'll be here tomorrow to tomorrow. We just picked a few, including Ashiwaju Adini of Hasbunallah Islamic Society, Alatunse Adini of Odogbolu Muslim Community. Odogbolu, you'll be wondering, somebody from Ilorin, what's she doing in Odogbolu? Her dear husband is from that area. And Otun Iya Adini of Ikene Muslim Community in Ogun State. Her husband is proper Ijebu man. She is blessed with a supportive, I said it now. She is blessed with a supportive husband, Alhaji Tabit Wale Shonaike, who is the GMD of Cordville and the deputy president or two of Muswen. We all know Muswen. And wonderful children who inspire her journey of impact and success. Hey, my sister is blushing. So what's your pep talk? I know Honorable you can talk, but you have just about 3, maximum 5 minutes to talk to us.
Our moderator, thank you. Thank you. I wonder if it's me you are reading my profile of my husband. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I say, may the peace of Allah be upon each and every one of us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. I give all thanks and adorations to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before I proceed, I wish to recognize the chairman of this epoch event, also the father of the day, the guest lecturer, the special guest of honor, other invited guests, the founder of FAJIM Scholarship Foundation, our own Professor Fatima Biade Abdulkarim, the chairman of the foundation, and other member of the board of trustees of the foundation, and of course, the scholars recipients that we are celebrating today. Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, good morning to you all. I feel elated and honored to be here today as the mother of the day, and particularly to support my own sister, Ajia Fatima Biade Abdulkarim, the founder of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. It is important that we have this type of opportunity in our society, where quite a number of people are provided with all the wherewithal to excel and make progress in their quest to be better people in the society, based on the completion of the education without stress of lack of funds. I say thank you to you. I would like to express my gratitude to FAJIM Medicare Foundation for investing in the future of these remarkable individuals. Investing in the future of this individual is a testament to the power of community and importance of education. Also, to the scholarship recipients, I urge you to continue to strive for excellence. This award is not just a recognition of your past achievements, but also a challenge to push you beyond your boundaries. We want you to use the opportunity to explore your passion and develop your skills and become the leaders and the change makers of tomorrow. Therefore, I wish to congratulate our awardees today, but also wish to encourage them not to rest on their horse, but to remember that education is a lifelong journey, as we are encouraged by our own Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that you continue to study from the cradle to the grave. So I urge us all to remain committed to excellence, be a change maker, be open-minded, and remember the word of Nelson Mandela, that says education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. As we are here today, we should remember that education is the only key to unlocking potential. It is the foundation upon which dreams are built, and it is the catalyst for I pledge to support, inshallah, bi kudratillahi wa ta'ala, and encourage you throughout your academic journey.
Are we losing you? I can hardly hear you. Or is it just me?
No,
We're
maybe.
losing her. We're losing her.
Couldn't hear her.
She having issue with her network? Anybody to call her? She back now? She dropped off? She was almost concluding anyways. I was just waiting for the boom that she wanted to announce.
She's muted.
Oh, okay. I'm sure she's mistakenly.
Hello, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, yes.
Oh, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. I say, as the mother of the day, I pledge to always support and encourage throughout the academic journey. Inshallah, today I will be dropping 250,000, and I've been supporting from the inception of this foundation. And I pray Allah make it easy for me to always continue to support. And I want to remind the recipients that they should know that they are not just the recipients, they are an ambassador of hope and knowledge. I say congratulations to them once again. And I pray that they keep shining and keep the flag flying. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Auntie Ayoka. It's only few of us that know you by that name. Thank you so much for your encouraging and encouraging words and counsel you have given to everybody, and particularly the scholars. And we also thank you for the whooping amount that you have given to us. Let me quickly reiterate that the donation is ongoing. A lot of people, even before the webinar, have already, sent in their donation. The chairman made his presentation, but he never really mentioned what he has given to us. But I have mentioned it earlier, supported the project with a sum of 1 million naira, and I'm sure others can follow suit. We also have other donors, like the Mother of the Day has done. We have our own dear Professor Kumbi Banjo has sent in 150. You can imagine those driving the project, they are also donating. We have Mr. Dotun Eyinade, guest speaker for the day. We are yet to get to him, whooping sum of 300,000 naira. We have Abdulhamid Obileye and Mustafa Jolade, 150K. Ibrahim and Walia Abdulkarim, all these drivers, they are just intimidating us. So they have dropped 150K. Professor Semiat Elias, another twin sister of our prof, 50K. Michael Omosani, 20K. Zainab, pardon my pronunciation, 10K. Tobilola Eyinade, 100K. Prince Akintayo Akinriyemi, 10K. I talked about our chairman of the day, 1 million naira. Thank you so much. Niton Bell. And then our guest speaker, 300K. The mother of the day has just given us 250K. Please let us keep rolling in. I know there's a slot for this. Prof, don't know those in technical, let's keep displaying the account details so that we can keep receiving the monies. Just do recall that anything you donate is not receding in your income. In fact, God has a way of replenishing everything that you spend in multiple folds. Thank you so much for being on the platform so far. Do we have the father of the day on the platform now so that we can get his pep talk and then move on to our lecture of the day? Is he on the platform now to get his
Yes.
pep talk? Okay. So, do pardon me to also read a brief citation of our father of the day, who is very much well known to all, has been with us from inception. I remember when we did a formal lunch in at Luth, he was there full force, and he's been with this foundation all through, year in, year out. He always donates huge sums of money for the scholarship program. So permit me to read a brief citation of Alhaji Dr. Murtada Adeyemi Adeniji. He is the Managing Director of and Chief Executive Officer of Starlink Global and Ideal Limited. Alhaji Adeniji is a distinguished entrepreneur, a visionary leader at the helm of affairs of Starlink Global and Ideal Limited, one of Nigeria's foremost companies in agricultural sports and processing. The decades of experience in the agricultural sector, he has been instrumental in transforming Starlink into a global recognized brand. Some of us know that very well. Specializing in cocoa, cashew nuts, and sesame seed exportation. This era of downplaying the monoproduct of fuel, you know that agri is the next economic spinner in our country. Under his leadership, the company, which recently celebrated 25 years of excellence, has achieved significant milestones, including securing international funding to establish state-of-the-art processing facilities, fostering job creation, contributing to Nigeria's economic growth. He is a recipient of numerous awards, you can say that again, for his contribution to business, agriculture, and community development. You didn't talk of education. I know he's a major player in the educational sector of Ife. Yes, Unifemga is a major player there, and his dedication to excellence continue to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. He's one of our mentors too. Thank you very much for all you do and what you are going to do today again. So my great pleasure to welcome Alhaji Dr. Murtada Adeyemi Adeniji, the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Starlink Global and Ideal Limited, our father of the day. You're welcome, sir. Over to you. Has he unmuted? What I learned is on the platform.
Not seen him yet.
Oh,
Maybe we
Ugboro
can go.
Timosoy. So do we move on to our guests of honor?
I'm actually, you've omitted something on the activity report.
Oh, I didn't know me. We are not there yet. We have a message from the BOT chairman of the day, let's say father of the day. Father of the day. Yes, that's where we are, father of the day. If it's not here, that's when we can move on to the activity report.
The next one is report of activities after father of the day.
Yeah, but we've not had father of the day. That's what I'm saying.
You will come later, inshallah.
If we want to skip that now, we can move on to the activities reports.
I think we should.
If it's not here, so Prof, over to you for the activities, reports of the activities by Professor Fatima Abdulkarim, very much well known to us, the founder of this foundation. a professor of medicine, professor of prof in Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Is I can't be going on and on. She deliberately refused to send me her CV because I know her. If I have to read her CV, we will not live here today. The Pathology Association of Nigeria is she's a major player there, both Lagos State and national, well-traveled prof all over the globe. So no wonder he has garnered all that experience and acumen to come and found the FAJIM Medicare. So over to you, Professor Fatima Piadi Abdulkarim. Give us the activities for the past one calendar year of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. Over to you. Thank you. Chion.
Unmute yourself, Prof.
Okay. I said I wanted to do my what's it called now? Protocol, starting from home. And I was starting to say Chairman BOT first.
You can start again. We
the-
didn't hear you. We need to capture all of that.
Okay.
Since we are
I
recording.
said the Chairman Board of Trustees, Alhaji Jami Abdulkarim, whose permission and support has continued to sustain this foundation, and other members of the BOT. The chairman of the occasion, my own brother, Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, my brother. We're also classmates, and he's from my hometown, Ogon, Igora. We were in Igora High School together. He's been a supporter of FAJIM from day one. The mother of the day, the father of the day, the special guest of honor, Alhaji Misbah Oyefeso, the father of the day, the guru of Starlink, guru of cocoa and agricultural products, the #1 in Nigeria, and if not in Africa, Alhaji Badeniji Adeyemi, the mother of the day, my dear friend, Madam Oloye Pupo Shonaike, the other special guests that have been invited to this program, members of the Board of Trustees, and I have beside me here Professor Adekunbiola Feyintola Banjo. Some of the awardees are also here with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you activities of FAJIM Medicare Foundation that has spanned 6 years, but I'll concentrate on some of the things that we have done, this year and then cumulatively as well. Like the chairman, in fact, the chairman of the occasion actually went through my report, all the activities of FAJIM. He mentioned them. Thank you very much. FAJIM was incorporated in 2018, and our vision is to be a foremost non-governmental organization committed to improving the health status of Nigerians with emphasis on the underserved communities that are poorly served. And our mission is to promote preventive health care through education and screening for early detection of diseases, and to encourage students to take up careers in the health profession, and that's what we're doing today, and to collaborate with local and international bodies with similar objectives. So our main focus areas are health education, free medical check, scholarships for students in healthcare professions. And to date, since 2018, when we started, we have carried out free screening in several communities from Oyo to Ogun to Lagos, over 6,000. Free consultation and treatments with free drugs, 1,996. And by today, we will have given out about 176 grants. And in addition, we sponsor secondary school students, especially science students who are preparing to do WAEC and JAM. And the essence is to encourage them to take up courses, health-related courses, and so that we can increase the manpower in health. And what have been our sources of fund? Most of our sources of fund come from donations from corporate organizations and individuals, like all of you that have joined us today. In fact, majority of you that have joined us today have been with us from inception. Zakat donation from corporate organization and individuals. And number one, there is Starlink Global that have continued to give us the zakat every year. And then we get pro bono services from corporate organizations, and of course the funders fund. And to date, we started to give out scholarships. In 2019, we gave 14 students. In 2021, we gave 32, and 2022, 39. By last year, we gave 51, and this year we've been going up. This year we seem to have come down, but we don't want to come down again. Our intention was to go to double what we did last year, but unfortunately we could not do that. And what we've decided to do this year, we could not add on to the scholars that we have with us. All we did is to renew for those that are with us, and we were unable to take more. And that's why we're calling you, that we do not want to do less. We want to keep doing more because of the results that we've been getting from the students. And in addition to giving them, when we started, we gave 100,000 cash grants to them. And then subsequently, we increased it to 150,000. And so that's 150,000 that we're going to be giving to them today. And Professor Banjo is on hand. As soon as the awardees' names are rolled out, she will just click and they will start getting their money. But apart from these grants, we also have mentoring programs for them. So we have virtual lectures that are delivered to them. We invite scholars, from medical and non-medical fields who give them some lectures, not necessarily medically related, lectures that make them to be able to have holistic life, to be able to survive in the 21st century. That requires you not only to be a professional, but to also know something about most other things that will make you have a good life. The scholars are also made to prepare content.
Sorry. Who is in charge of muting people? Please, let's mute every other person while the presentation is ongoing. Can we just please listen to the prof's presentation? Let's not distract, please. Thank you.
Scholars prepare contents to create awareness about common diseases on social media. So they are grouped into teams monthly, and they prepare contents that are shared on social media. Some of them also participate at our medical outreach as volunteers. And to date, 15 scholars have graduated and now practicing. And on the list are those that graduated between 2022 and 2023. Most of Balaje Hafiz, pharmacy from UI, Musa Aziz, physiotherapy, Shukrat Alarape, nursing LASU, Ibagbe Mufliat, medicine UI, Adeagbo, Adekunle dentistry UI, Mohammed Adigun MLS, medical laboratory science LAUTECH, Abdullahi Bello MLS LAUTECH, Anifa Bello MLS LAUTECH that last year. And this year, Rafiat, who is now a doctor, Olaoye from LASUCOM, and is now got a house job. Those ones that I mentioned, many of them have either completed their house job and starting a youth service, and some of them that finished last year are still doing their house job. And Aziz Alarape Medicine LASUCOM, these three names are all from LASUCOM, and they are already doing their house job. And then we have Dr. Abimbola Olugbodi Medicine, finished from Ogun State University. And then we have pharmacist Segun Ayobami, OAU. This last October, we have 4 of our scholars who finished from OAU, Damilola Rebecca Ogunbunmi, nursing, Shakirat Waidi nursing, Gladys Oguntola is one of the scholars that will give us her experience today, nursing OAU, and then Kafilat, who just finished too, radiography Unilag. And here are the pictures of the scholars, some of them that have their pictures here. This is Sanifa Abdullahi. This is Gladys in the middle, then Rebecca, So, and, one of them we're celebrating today, and we're celebrating her because she made us proud. She finished, that's Gladys Eniola Oguntola. She finished as overall best graduating student in BNSC nursing from OAU. And we are very proud to have been, to have contributed in one way or the other to our success. And here is some of the mentoring sessions. We have people that have been invited to give talks ranging from citizenship and nation building, how to be an effective leader, balancing academic and excellence with soft skill acquisition, how to make formal presentation. We even talked about intersection of data science and so on and so forth, and how to do research. So, and these are some of the projects that the scholars do on breast cancer, how to sleep well, and so on and so. World Stroke Day, most of the time what they do is they look at what is relevant for that month, and they come together as a team to prepare something, form of either video or, other format that are shared on social media. Other activities that FAJIM engage in, I've talked about students, secondary school students, and we do this in collaboration with the female Muslim doctors. They have like a lesson school somewhere in Idiaraba. And so we sponsor at least 5 students every year to have their lesson extramural coaching to be able to enter university. And then we do donate drugs to Association of Medical Students, Medical and Dental Students, College of Medicine. We've been doing that 4 years running now. We've donated to youth corps members in Ibarapa Central local government when they wanted to do outreach. And we have also donated to the comprehensive hospital in Igora. And most of our outreach, we go to screen people. And when we screen them, sometimes we give out drugs. Other times we just do screening. And then those that we find to have one issue or the other, we refer them. And a lot of people have become aware of what we do. So they invite us to come to do free screening for them. And we have collaborated with the Criterion Lagos District. We collaborated with the specialist laboratories, Paco Development Forum, Methodist Church Nigeria, Harmony Estate Community Ikorodu, Glorious Islamic Center, Alamotu Family Association, Abeokuta. We were in Abeokuta last month, and then Association of Medical Students, and then the Muslim Congress. So we continue to entertain. Some others have already approached us, and we are put them in our 2025 calendar. And these are some of the pictures of when we go to such places. Like, we usually want to do it to coincide with something, the World Hypertension Day, World Hepatitis Day, World Cancer Day, World Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, and so on. And this is when we were in Alamotu, Abeokuta, and then when we were at the Criterion. So our corporate responsibility, we are responsible people, and we know that people that associate with us are people of integrity. So our core values, professionalism, including expertise and competence, integrity. So we are accountable to the people because we use people's money that have been put in our custody. So we are accountable to you, and then we are also accountable to God and humanity. And then our compassion and responsiveness is also there. So because of all of this, we make sure that all corporate things that are required of us, we do. We are registered with CAC. We have the SCUMUL registration as well. We audit our accounts since inception. We audit our accounts every year, and we file with CAC. And we have all our donors. We always appreciate, because the auditors, we ask the donors, where are the letters to show that you have acknowledged them? So we always do right to, and then we keep donors list as well. And these are some of the, can see even the latest one, the one for 2024 is there. So you can be sure that your money is safe with us, and we will not do whatever that we're not supposed to do with your money. We've been receiving awards and appreciation notes. We got one from Association of Medical Students. You can see me with them last month in November. Was it November? Yes, early November, when they had their, and they gave us an award. From nowhere, I just saw these students, Northern Association of Northern Nigerian Students, when they called me that they wanted to give FAJIM an award, and I was wondering from where. We really don't know you. And then the Criterion, that's my son receiving the award last year from the Criterion. And then there is another one organization, Ibarapa Gens Evolution Conference, that they have written us that they want to give us an award on the 26th of December. We do appreciate all of them. And pro bono services we continue to receive from corporate organizations, chartered accountants, Alhaji Ali Oluwafuyi Bishomi Anonibon, chartered accountant, Khadija Followinsho legal firm, and the specialist laboratories. We are grateful. And last year, we published the impact booklet, a brochure, where we have the list of all our donors to date, and we continue to keep the list. I don't want to start naming names here, because if I do, it's definite I'm going to forget some. But all I want to say is that we are deeply grateful. The scholars are deeply grateful to you, and God really does appreciate and keeps a note of you. And we are sure that you're not going to just receive the reward in this world, but most of the reward will be kept for you in the hereafter. And I end with Rav Waldo Emerson, who says, the purpose of life is not to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make some difference that you have lived and live well. And I say thank you very much, as we are all compassionate people that are ready to help grow our little ones so that they can become and make the better world that we are. And we know that FAJIM cannot do it alone. We know that hand in hand with you, together, we would be able to improve the status of the health of our of Nigerians, especially those in underserved community. And I thank you again for listening. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish I can help people to do this, you know. Hand in hand, together we can. Yeah. I must say kudos to you. It's not just about doing all of these things. It's about proper record keeping. Who else can do it other than our revered Prof and her team? I must congratulate you. I must wish you well. I must say, let me speak. I'm so passionate and I'm so enthused with your presentation, like it has always been anyway. I mean, the thoroughness, the record keeping, the presentation, graphic attachment to all of the things you have done. Thank you. And you are surprised that you are getting an award. They are still modest. Very soon you'll be getting international awards. You know, like I said at the last meeting, we are more or less underplaying the prowess of FAJIM. And I'm sure we'll get there. 5 years, it is a good story worthy of telling. Congratulations. So that is the presentation for us. We may need to make 1 or 2 comments as we progress. And the fact that it's not just their core things they're doing, mentoring the young ones, not just about education, health, and all of that. And then the impacts. I don't know where you get your strength, but we pray that God will continue to strengthen you and your team. This is not your primary calling. You combine all of this with your official duties and so many other things. Thank you and well done. I need to take a little permission. I got a feeling that our guest of honor needs to dash elsewhere. If you permit, would you want him to give his pep talk so that can let him go? But of course, definitely he cannot go without telling us the pocket he's going to offload for us on this project. We have been saying that a lot of people have been donating. The chairman has doled out his own contribution of up to 1 million, and I'm sure the guest of honor may also, you know, follow suit in that regard. So permit me to just say a few words about the guest of honor before he makes his presentation or give us his pep talk. Our guest of honor today is Alhaji Musbaudeen Adewale Oyefeso, quite known to a lot of us. beyond, it's not even captured here of what is written here. Beyond being a legal practitioner, we know that is one of those that had sway at the Electoral Commission of Lagos State. And then a prominent lawyer, a public servant, hails from Ijebu Ayekpe, Odogbolu, local government of Ogun State. It's like Ijebu people are dominating us on this platform today. Kilode. He has held significant roles, including constituency legal advisor for Ali Mosho local government, electoral commissioner at the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission, LICEC, where he briefly stayed as acting chairman. Beyond being a commissioner, he also served as a chairman. He also worked as a consultant on local government elections in Ogun State and was a cabinet consultant under Senator Ibikula Amosun from 2015 to 2019. A committed community leader, several awards, several chieftaincy titles, several turbani ceremonies that we are not opportune to attend anyway. Our leader, however, has been instrumental in transforming Ayekwe as chairman of Ayekwe Muslim community since 2012. He upgraded the local Muslim school into Ayekwe Muslim College, which achieved a 100% science result in 2022. He has also contributed to the development of Ayekwe Comprehensive High School and Ayekwe Microfinance, where he remains a strong supporter. So that's our guest of honor for this program. Like we said, after his presentation, he's going to also announce to us how he intends to support or how he has supported this program. It's a great pleasure to welcome to the platform to make his presentation. We are moving his speech forward. Please, the guest lecturer and other people should please indulge us to make Alhaji Musbauddin Adewale Oyefeso. Over to you, sir, for your presentation. Thank you. Not more than 5 minutes. Thank you.
Let me stand on existing protocol established by our media consultant, who happens to be the master of ceremony, Alhaja Amina Mohammed. But permit me to specially recognize the father of the day, who I understand has been supporting this foundation, who I also know personally, and of course, the driver of the foundation and the chairman of the foundation. I want to greet you, the normal mode of greeting by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Just three issues to raise. One, I'm not commending the foundation for doing this job, but treading on the path that is unpopular. I know many foundations relating to health delivery, they emphasize AIDS, cancer, and all these non-communicable diseases, which will normally attract donation from abroad. I know one or two organizations established by US in Nigeria and emphasizing AIDS. I know if Professor Fatima had wanted to attract donations from abroad, she would also go for some of this, but she didn't. She went for her passion. Secondly, what we are really lacking in Nigeria, she's taking effort to address the two together. And that is why you see our budget. Apart from security, this 47.9 trillion budget of this present government, 2025 budget, you will see that apart from security, which is a major problem, you will see health and education coming first again. So she's on course by emphasizing medical education, medical delivery, and also education. Thirdly, I want to also say that she has not only been doing this through the foundation, she has been doing it by herself personally. So I'm not surprised she's formalizing it. Behind the scene. Behind the scene. Exactly 7 years ago, I had an ailment that would have terminated my life. She came quickly to join the medical team, advised me to go abroad for treatment if I could raise the money. I was able to raise the money, and look at me talking today. If not for Allah's protection, Allah's support, and our intervention and advice. So it's not only about money. And I'm not actually focusing on the money we are making, what we want to make for the foundation. I know money is important, but some of us will be able to give contact and ensure that we make the foundation to be resourceful. So on behalf of myself, the entire family, especially Alhaja Fatima Oyefeso, who is also a personal friend, I want to congratulate the chairman, who is also a personal friend, Alhaja Abdulkarim, who retired from public service but not tired too. The chairman of the POT, sorry. So let me quickly mention the issue of figure, but not only the issue of figure. I believe I will see her personally. I also give her 1 or 2 contacts abroad, being a reward of some of the things she has also done for me when I traveled abroad for treatment. So on this note, I personally will be doing 250,000 naira to support this foundation. My children, they are also involved in my treatment, that they knew the role she played. And she's also a member of their family too. So the children and my wife, Alhaja Fatima, will be doing 250, making the sum of 500,000 naira. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much. May Almighty Allah reward you and replace from sources that you least expect. So that
Amen.
is our guest of honor who has doled out collectively or cumulatively 500K from his family source. And I'm sure we can also follow suit. It's good to be good. I mean, what goes round comes round. When Prof was making that counsel, he didn't know this will turn come back. But whatever we do is an investment in this world and the hereafter. So continue to let it dole in. Let me once again talk about those beyond the 500 we just received. Let's quickly mention those who have supported us again while you are dotting your I's and crossing the T's for the figures that are you have to see the account details displayed, so that people who want on the platform who want to quickly donate can do that. Professor Simi at Elias, 50K. Mr. Michael Omosoya, 20K. Zainab Buteso, 10K. Ibrahim and Wali at Abdulkarim, 150K. Abdul Hamid Obileye and Mustafa Jolade, 150K. Tobilola Eyinade, 100K. Prince Akintayo Akinyemi, 10K. Nothing is too small, really. Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, chairman of the day, 1 million naira. Professor Kumbi Banjo, 150K. Mr. Dotun Eyinade, guest speaker for the day, 300K. Alhaji and Alhajia BT Rahman, 100K. Those one just came in. I'm sure they're on the platform. Do yours. Our revered mommy, Hajia Muiba Abbas, one of the BOT members of Criterion, 100K. And from my own modest platform on Ames Media Company Limited, kindly jot down 100K from Ames Media. Thank you very much for all that you have done and all that you will still do. So let's now move on with the program. As we go over to the lecture for the day, I want to believe the guest lecturer is on the platform. Or do we have the father of the day on the platform now so that we can take his pep talk before we go to the guest lecture? Is he on the platform now? Alhaji Adeniji Adeyemi. Can somebody confirm to me? There's no way I can know from here because I'm sourcing other documents. Prof, can you confirm if he's on the platform, please? Can anybody hear me? There's silence.
We can hear
We
you.
can hear you.
Can hear you.
So the Alhaji is not yet on the platform.
But I don't think
Doctor.
he's on the platform.
Not
Okay.
yet.
So,
Yes.
okay, so if our guest lecturer is ready, we are now ready to listen to a powerful presentation titled The Power of Perseverance, Turning Obstacles into Possibilities. But before you give us your lecture, let's get to know a bit of who you are in a bit to read just a brief version of your citation. Mr. Adedotun Eyinade is an entrepreneur and public policy advisor. He is the co-founder and chief executive officer of Roving Heights, a fast-growing bookstore chain. He also serves as the program director of NOMA, an off-grid energy market accelerator that provides technical assistance to governments and private companies regarding energy access. Adedotun started his career at KPMG Nigeria and led teams on risk management engagements for clients in the financial services, oil and gas, and telecoms industries. He was an Acumen Global Fellow in the 2013 cohort. During the fellowship, he was seconded to Husk Power Systems in Tanzania, where he became the country head and director of business development. Adedotun has a bachelor's degree in microbiology and a master's of public policy MMP from the Obafemi Awolowo University and the University of Oxford. He is a trustee of the Madiba Foundation for Good Governance and sits on the board of the Commonwealth Drone Partnership. This is an abridged version. If we have to go through all the citation of all the guests we have on platform, we may just be here for the whole day. So, it's a great pleasure to welcome for your presentation, Mr. Adedotun Eyinade, co-founder, CEO, Roving Heights Limited. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Ma, and good morning to everyone. It's a pleasure to be on the call and to be speaking as a guest lecturer. I'm profoundly honored and humbled. So when Professor Fatima Abdulkarim reached out and told me I was going to speak at FAJIM's 50th year scholarship award ceremony, I was a little bit frightened, right? That's the word to use. Yeah, frightened because I was thinking, well, why me? What have I done in my life to, to speak to the incredible cohort of young scholars that FAJIM has been supporting, in the last 5 years. And of course, I rose up to the occasion and I said, oh, I'm going to speak. I'll do my best to speak about the topic perseverance and how much of a difference is also made in my own personal life and in all my professional and entrepreneurial endeavors. I'll be remiss if I do not start by recognizing the distinguished personalities who are also attending the event. Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, the chairman of the occasion, the special guest of honor, Alhaji Musba Oyefeso, the mother of the day, Alhaja Bilkis Sunaike, and as well the father of the day, as well as the chairman of the board of trustee, who happens to be my beloved cousin, Alhaji Jami Abdulkarim, as well as our chief host, Professor Fatima Abdulkarim. So I've been asked to speak on the topic, power of perseverance, turning obstacle into opportunities. I've decided to distill my thoughts into 6 slides, which I'm just going to present and talk through the slides instead of reading out the speech. I hope that we'll find that really worthwhile. All right. I'm told I have 30 minutes. Is it 30 or 20?
You can donate some for us if you can't exhaust it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I would aim to speak for 25 minutes, and and hopefully if there are questions, I'm happy to take. At the I hope that the moderator would be kind enough to permit me to do that. So speaking of perseverance,
sorry,
just
before you continue. Sorry to interrupt. Please, if we have questions, let's use the chat box.
Okay.
My guest speaker, please also look out for the chat box so that if we have to give room for everybody to ask questions beyond the comments and all of that, it may be a little cumbersome. So just take notes while the presentation is ongoing and put your questions and comments on the chat box. lecturer, you can also look out there so that we can address them afterwards. Thank you very much. You may continue.
All right, thank you, ma. I hope you can all see my screen. I'm sharing my
Yes, we
screen.
can.
All right,
We
that's
can,
good.
yes.
So speaking of perseverance, I think a lot about how much progress humankind has made, right? In various endeavors, in various domains, from healthcare. Incidentally, we are the foundation, the FAJIM Foundation is one that is devoted to healthcare, to finance, to technology. And we realize that a lot of the innovations, the interventions, some of the beautiful achievements that humankind has achieved, all has been achieved largely on the back of perseverance. I think of something as mundane, as simple as a light bulb, which makes a huge difference in our lives. It was said of Thomas Edison, the founder of the electric light bulb, that he tried for over 1,000 times before he was able to discover or come out with a fitting design of what the light bulb should look like. And at some point he was asked, "Oh, you tried this for 1,000 times. Why did it take you that long?" And his fitting answer was, "I have not failed 1,000 times. I've only learned 10,000 times ways of not making the light bulb." And I think it's actually a very instructive point around the power of perseverance. So over the next couple of slides, I would be talking about perseverance in greater detail. I would look at how perseverance can make a huge difference in our lives, in our as students, in our lives as workers or entrepreneurs, also in our personal lives, in our day-to-day living as well. I would aim to look at perseverance, from a personal perspective of how much of a difference it's made in my own journey as a 40-year-old man. I would talk about how we could develop and strengthen our capacity to persevere. And then I would, on a sort of a less serious note, I would recommend a few books. I'm sure you heard that I'm a bookseller. I would recommend a few books. And for those of us who are not given to books, I would recommend a few movies that I think can also inspire us. I would end with a fitting quote, and then we can stop and take some questions. So when we talk about perseverance, right, so let's just break it down and get down to brass tack. We'll talk about it as steadfast persistence in the face of challenges, setbacks, and failures, right? We're all human beings. And I guess from the point where we grow and we become aware of our immediate environment, we realize that our capacities as human beings, our capacities are finite, right? And because they are finite, it means that we cannot solve all the problems. And it also means that we would also encounter setbacks, we would also encounter failure, and we also face challenges. These are things that we confront in our daily life, right? So what that means is that they're constant features of our human life, right? So perseverance in that sense would mean just being able to be steadfast and to steadfastly persist despite challenges, setback, and failures. And these are things that we're all familiar with, right? So professional life, in our businesses, in our academics, right? Those of us who are students, some of us have had to write WAEC a couple of times before we passed. There'll be some folks who would ace all their test grades, but there'll be other people who have to put in so much effort before they're able to achieve the goals. There are people who will go to class or just listen to lectures, put in minimal effort, but there'll be a great deal of people who would have to spend hours, poring over the textbooks to be able to understand, the core concepts so as to be able to ace the score. Now, when we talk about perseverance, a point that is very important to stress is that it's a mindset, right? When people persevere, it means that they have that mindset of being able to steadfastly persist despite all the challenges, setbacks, and failures that they would face. So it means being resilient, right? Meaning that when they suffer setback, when they meet opposition, when they meet hurdles or obstacles on their way, they are able to recover quickly, right? That's what resilience means. It means grit. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who runs a medical insurance company, and we're just, as young entrepreneurs, we're having, we're sharing ideas as to how to hire people. And one of the things that was common in the course of that conversation is that one of the things that we need to look for, or we look for when we hire, is people who have grit. people who can stay the course, people who can, as they say in some parlance, people who can grind and who can show hard work over a period of time despite facing failures. Again, I highlighted that word failure because it's something that we would oftentimes encounter in the course of our endeavors, right? Professionally, you write an exam, it's a professional exam, maybe you pass 2 courses and then you fail one, you need to take the exam again. There is a possibility of saying, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to, take this exam again. I am already 40. Some of my mates wrote these exams in their 30s, or I'm trying to, get into a master's program. I'm trying to start a PhD and it's like 4 or 5 years. And then one would just say, I'm giving up, on those things. Now, a point to stress is that failure, that word is never the end. When we fail at things, I am trying to lose weight. And then, that goal you set for yourself at the beginning of the year, this is to, everyone who's not a student, right? You feel like, oh, I feel like I need to lose 10 kg because the doctor has asked me to do that, right? It's never the end. And there's a tendency for us to just give up to say, look, I'm not going to try this any longer. Setback are challenges, and challenges are simply part of the journey, right? The journey, the journey is what we are on, and that's not the final destination. What we can do is to learn from them and use those experiences to grow stronger. Again, to stress about how perseverance, can come to play in our various domains, right? I talked about it from the point of view of academic success. It's been proven that the students who tend to succeed the most are not necessarily the ones who have high intelligence quotients, who have high IQs. They're not necessarily the ones who come from homes where their parents have, they're well-read. Of course, that's a strong, that's also a strong determinant, right? There's this whole nature versus nurture debate to say, is it nature? Do you have the genes that makes you, well predisposed for success in athletics or in academics? But then, of course, even if you're gifted genetically, right? Even if you come from homes where your parents have high IQs, they're high achievers, if you do not put in the effort, if you do not study, you don't do your assignments, you don't pay attention to the things that your lecturers in class are stressing, the odds are high that you're going to turn out to be a mediocre student. So, of course, perseverance then is very essential for academic success. Professionally, the people who thrive in business, the people who thrive in the workplace are also people who demonstrate that word again, grit. The people who can, demonstrate, grit, people who can grind, who can stay longer hours, who can put in more effort. When other people give up and say, look, I am tired of this whole thing, they're the people who persist and they continue. Those are the people that are more likely to succeed in the workplace, right? Same thing in business, right? We live in a climate where there are so many challenges. Interest rates is about 35%. Interest rates is about 35% from commercial banks. If you're borrowing from non-conventional sources, you're looking at northwards of 40%. You have to struggle with, fueling your own, generators because there's no electricity. There are myriad challenges that people face in business. And so there's a likelihood for people who are in business, who are entrepreneurs, to give up, to say, you know what, I'm no longer doing this any longer. This is not working, right? But people who tend to succeed, who put in 10, 20, 50, 30, 40 years in business and have achieved the measure of business success are people who have grit, are people who have persevered. And on the personal note, we think about personal development, so it might be, I want to learn a new skill. I want to learn how to play the piano. I want to learn how to speak French. I want to learn how to speak Spanish. I want to learn how to speak Hausa. The people who are able to achieve those things, I want to learn how to play tennis, are people who demonstrate perseverance. And perseverance could show from your lecturer not giving you the best, and you feel like, okay, I need to augment, what my French teacher is teaching me by signing up for Duolingo. I've tried these 2 exams. I haven't passed them on how to become a better Hausa teacher or Hausa speaker. And then that means that I'm going to listen to more, YouTube videos just to persevere and to be able to, achieve the goal. Again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, perseverance requires patience, right? I know we live in a generation, particularly those of us who are young, who want things instantly, right? We're the generation where we want to achieve instant success, right? We want to get from point A, from 0 to 100, overnight. But, if you look at, the people who are most successful, the people who have achieved things that are worthwhile in their lives, are people who have demonstrated patience and discipline, because discipline requires consistent steps. Now, I am going to reflect this, inwardly, because I'm not a motivational speaker and I want this to be very practical, to be able to share my own life journey and how much perseverance has made a difference in my own experience. 10 years ago, I decided that I was going to hike, do a personal adventure and hike Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds for charity. And one of the reasons why I decided to do that was because, I was living then in Tanzania. I was working for a renewable energy company. And then, Tanzania being, the country where the highest, mountain in, Africa is, is situated, I decided, oh yeah, I can get it done for cheap, cheaper than what, other people who are non-residents would do. But I think that the more important motivation for doing the hike was because I also wanted to raise funds for Down Syndrome Foundation, which is a foundation that is very dear to my heart for a very personal reason. And so I was starting to prepare. I was running about 5, 6, 7 kilometers every day just so I could be physically fit for the hike. And I decided to speak to a Nigerian who had also done the hike, some guy who had done the hike some 2, 3 years before I attempted it. So we had a call. And then on the call, I realized that it was a bit, hoppity, and it was sort of like very, very patronizing in the way he was, just trying to provide his own thoughts. And, I don't think he can do it. It was just very, his thoughts were very demoralizing. How many hours have you trained? You only trained for, 2 months. I don't think it's enough, and then, I said, okay, thank you so much for your feedback. I'll go and work I'll go and work at it, and I would do my best to ensure that I am able to be ready and be prepared for, for the hike. So August of 2014, I signed up for a 6-day hike alongside, 2 friends. One was a senior colleague at KPMG that I previously worked, and we started the hike. I thought it was child's play, right? You hike for 6, 7 hours every day. And then on the 4th night, which was a summit night, I was already in bad shape. I was tired. I was already coughing because of the high altitude sickness. And when the hike started, the summit drive started, my guide was telling me, Ade, I don't think you can make it. I think you should go back, because I was starting to hallucinate. I was really tired. In fact, they told my other friends who were also on the hike to go ahead so that I would not, demoralize them because I was the weakest, chain in the link. So we hiked that night from 12 midnight up until 6 a.m. And then by the time, the sun was starting to rise, I was already tired. I just crashed on the floor. And then the guy said, look, Ade, I told you can't make this stuff. I think you should go back. There are other people who had summited, who had gotten to the peak who had gotten to the peak and were already on their way back. And I just caught this very sorry image of like, oh, this guy, can't make it. I think he should go back. And at some point, the conversation I had with the Nigerian who had done it before was just echoing in my head about not being able to do it. And I just summoned the strength, the last ounce of strength that I had within me to say, let's go to the final push. And in another 2, 3 hours, I got to the summit. And then, I achieved that personal record. Now, what I wanted to stress from that personal, hello?
Go on, please.
Yeah. What I want to stress from that personal, that's a picture of me on the left-hand side, summiting, Mount Kilimanjaro and being on the highest point, on the continent. And what that experience did for me was a huge lesson in perseverance. And it provided a very good motivation, like sort of like a mental bank that I could draw on. And I still draw on anytime I'm faced with any particular challenge. I move back and I think about, that particular phase where I could have given up. I could have said, what, I can't do this any longer. This is just such a stupid adventure. Let me just give up. And then say, come up with 1,001 excuses. But I pressed on, and that sort of provided a background and the context for another academic achievement, which is one of the things I'm most proud of. So in 2015, I had a conversation with my employer, and I said, look, I don't think I would be continuing working for you because I want to go explore other things, and move back home to Nigeria, my home country. And so, early of January 2016, we just had December 2015, that month we had a baby. And then I made a goal to say I'm going to apply to a top school. So I applied in January 2016 to Oxford to pursue a master's in public policy. And I remember my wife would constantly say, why do you always apply to these elite schools? Why don't you just do for schools that are cheap or schools that are easier to get into? And I would say, well, the people who are getting into those schools they don't have two heads. They are also, human beings like me. I believe that I'm also above average and I have what it takes. So I put in an application, got my references and applied. 3 months later, I got an offer to say I got an email March of that year saying you've got into the program, congratulations. And I remember the first question my wife asked me was, okay, so the school fees is, £40,000, so where are you going to get the money? And then I said, oh, that's true, £40,000. I said, don't worry, God will provide. And it was just tough to think about or just wrap my head around. Okay, so now you have the offer letter. They've made you an offer to come study public policy, at Oxford. Good stuff. But where are you going to get £40,000? We are just exhausted pretty much all our life savings the previous December, medical bills for my son. So I started to think, and I started this very long, arduous journey of figuring out how to raise 40,000 over the 2-3 month horizon. And every day, every other week, I would write letters to entrepreneurs, to philanthropists, everywhere that I thought would help me. I drew up like a long list. So the first, also, I was updating the school about my progress. The first time the school came back with an offer of scholarship was a part funding of £7,000. I said, thank you, but that's, I will keep pushing. That's not enough. And the reason why I was very keen on, getting the scholarship, not even taking a loan, was because I also wanted my wife to also do a master's about the same time. I wrote to the school. The next time they told us to apply for a scholarship for African students, I applied, wrote this very strong essay, and I thought that would qualify me for it. I got, but I decided to just speak up, and continue to press on. And then I remembered that there was a Nigerian who had just made a public announcement, a Nigerian banker, and made a public announcement that he would be funding students to Oxford in the next year. So I had an offer in 2016, and he said by 2017 he would be sponsoring students to Oxford. I was like, yeah, what does it cost? Let me just write him. So I wrote him. I sent an email to an address on their website. I never heard back from them. There was a former vice president who I heard was also into philanthropy, who had also funded some students to study abroad. I wrote him, I got somebody to give me his office address. I sent a letter via DHL. So every week I had somebody I was sending a letter to all the way from Dar es Salaam, and I would always update the school. The school came back again, increased the scholarship to 20,000. I said, well, this is not still enough. Thank you so much. But I was constantly updating them on all the progress I was making. And at some point, it felt like giving up to say, look, this looks like a stupid thing. You're just writing people that you don't know from anywhere, and you think they will give you money. I'm sure there are 1,001 other people who are also knocking on their doors for some sort of favors or the other. At the end of the day, long and short, just to summarize, just a week before, so one other thing I did, which I need to stress, I then paid the deposit, just to show that I was really committed. I paid the deposit, and then, every other person I was sending a letter, I will show them to say, look, I have a skin in the game. I'm really serious about going for this program. Please support my dream. And as God would have it, just a week before, the confirmation would close, the school came back and said, oh, we're giving you, a tuition scholarship. And then we're going to refund the deposits that you made. And I'm like, oh, wow, thank you so much. This is a dream come true. Now I have, I know that I'm halfway there. I need to just worry about what the living expense will look like. And surprisingly, it was that same week that the Nigerian, philanthropist had spoken to, had sent an email to, also reached out to say, hey, I got your email. Sorry, I'm not funding anybody this year, but I'm funding someone next year. I'm funding some student next year. So, but then if you can respond to these 2 essay questions, I might just consider, what to do. So just to summarize, I just, responded to this, to the essay, and then told him, look, I've gotten the tuition scholarship. All I would need is, funding for, my living expense. And then he graciously also supported. So long and short, to just demonstrate how just being steadfast, being persistent just made a difference. in my own journey to getting a master's from an elite school. Now, I know that perseverance is a quality that not all of us, have, right? Not everybody has the capacity to persevere, to be steadfast. It is not an innate trait. It's a skill that can be cultivated and enhanced through specific strategies. And I say this because, as human beings, we actually get better when we do things over and over again, right? We get better, if you're trying to be a good singer, when you sing regularly, you become better at singing. And so there's some methods that can actually help us to really be good at persevering, that can help us to become better at being steadfast in the bid to achieve our goal. One of those is just being setting those achievable goals, setting goals that are achievable, right? Pause and think. What do you think within, the skills that God has given you, the qualities that God has given you is achievable? Is it getting a master's, getting a PhD if you're a student, or just even finishing top of your class, right? And you think that, oh, this is achievable. So how then do you then, go about achieving that? The first thing is just setting a goal that is achievable. Can I be within the first 2-3 students in my class, in my graduating class? Can I be very good at learning how to play tennis, on a personal note? Can I be good at learning how to play golf? I want to lose 5 kg or 10 kg before the next, half year. You're just setting those goals that we think that are achievable. There's something that is called a SMART goal, right? Which is a goal that is specific, that is measurable, that is achievable, that is realistic, and is time bound. So when we set those goals, we want to ensure that we are putting a timeline to it to say, okay, within the next 5 years, I want to be a medical doctor. Within the next 5, afterwards, within the next 5 years, I want to become a resident or a consultant. Or within the next, 5 years, I want to become a professor and a top professor in this particular field. So that's one of those things that can help us on the journey to being, to being steadfast and someone who persevere. Now, there's such a thing that is called a growth mindset, which I think, everybody should ponder about, right? So the person who came up with this concept is a psychologist called Carol. I think her name is Carol Dweck, right? She's some American psychologist. And she came up with this whole idea around having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset will say, I will never be that smart. So you see somebody who's very good at, maybe he's good at public speaking. And you say, oh, I don't have what it takes. But then there will be somebody else who would say, I'm going to improve myself to be a better public speaker. Some people will say, I want to avoid making mistakes. That's an evidence of a fixed mindset. But a person who has a growth mindset will say, I want to use the mistakes that I made as an opportunity to become better, right? They want to constantly look for feedback because they feel like the feedback is very, very valuable. Some people, the people who have fixed mindset will say, look, this is enough, right? I'm just going to give up. The person who has a growth mindset will say, I won't give up. When people applaud the people with fixed mindset and say, this is the best, this is good enough, they say, the people who have growth mindset will question and will introspect and say, is this my best work? Is this the best presentation I could have made today? Is this the best, effort I could have put into preparing for this exam? So that's what is, what makes a difference between the folks who have a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And for you to be better at persevering, the mindset that you need is actually one that is of growth. A mindset that feels that when you make mistakes, when you suffer setback, you just need to learn and reflect about, the things that you can take away from that particular experience. Again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, learning from mistake, I think it's also a corollary to the point around a growth mindset. When you try, you fail, you go back again to say, okay, I wrote this test, I got, an F, and I'm told to take the test again, right? I want to reflect and think about what could I have done better, right? To be able to ensure that I do better when next I'm writing this text. I did a business deal. It went bad. I was projecting to get a 20 or 30% return. I even made losses. Some other people will give up and say, look, I'm never going to do that deal again. But some other people, would think about, the people who want to persevere and achieve will think about, okay, so let me reflect. What went wrong in this particular deal? Okay, maybe I used The funding sources that I used, the interest rate was pretty high. Maybe I look for a cheaper source of funding so that next time I'm able to absorb the risk. And ultimately, the people who tend to succeed are the people who learn from failures. Think back to the point I started with about the journey of the electric bulb. I talked about Thomas Edison. The fact that, he failed over 1,000 times before he was able to figure out the best design for the electric bulb. But afterwards, he then realized, from the whole episode that what he had learned was, 10,000 ways of not making the electric bulb at the end of the day. So for us to be able to develop that, that capacity, to own our capacity and strengthen our capacity to persevere, we need to be able to learn from failures. Now, the word resilience is something that a lot of us that sort of became very popular in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, where they were looking at healthcare systems that were resilient, meaning that they were able to absorb shocks, absorb stress, and even strain, right? But even from the point of view of human beings, right? For us to be able to do well in any human endeavor, we need to be able to develop the capacity for resilience, which means that when we suffer setback, when we suffer failure, we are able to quickly recover and to regain our composure. So I think of an episode when I was an undergrad. I was told to represent my faculty, in a debate competition, right?
2
And
minutes more,
how many
lecturer.
minutes more?
2 minutes more minutes.
2
Two
minutes
more
more.
minutes.
I was told to represent my faculty in a debate competition, and the room was packed. I stood up to speak, and then midway into my presentation, I pretty much forgot what I was supposed to say, and I went blank, and it was really embarrassing. And that could have been an episode to say, I'm never going to speak in public again. I am just going to avoid talking to people. But since then, I have sort of recovered from that episode, and I think I'm doing well as a as a public speaker. Now, the point to make for people who have suffered failure, in the past, either academically, you wanted to do medicine, you couldn't get medicine, you got, pharmacy, or you got microbiology, you wanted to get into a top school, you couldn't get, you got into another school, is to remain resilient and to recover from those failures. Now, the last point I also want to quickly stress, which is very important, is to build a community of support, right? Your community of support could be your faith community, so that when you suffer failure, you can always draw strength from them. It could be your faith. We don't know how much, benefit or value we come from, we get from being people of faith, the fact that we have a belief and faith in God. It could be your family members, it could be your friends who can always be there for you, or people you admire, or mentors. That's also very, very important for you to be able to develop that capacity, for perseverance. Now, I'm told that I have just, few minutes left, so I'm just going to end on this note. And I feel there are things that I could recommend because of the brevity of time, for us to learn a little more about how to be better at persevering, how to be better at being resilient and overcoming obstacles. There's a book called Grit. I talked about it earlier, written by Angela Duckworth. There is a book called Entrepreneurship, the Slot Way, written by a businessman who's the founder of Slot, the popular Slot brand. There's a harrowing story of a young man who was a child soldier in Sierra Leone, called A Long Way Gone, which I'd also heartily recommend. I'm sure a lot of us have heard of this movie called The Pursuit of Happiness, that Will Smith's headline. That's also a very good tool, a very, very strong and powerful book that I recommend. It was also adapted into a movie. The movie Rudy, Aquila and the Bee, which a lot of young people relate to it, and also the story of gifted hands. Now, in summarizing, I want to
Network is beginning to fail.
Hello?
Yes, your speech is beginning to be slowed, so maybe your network.
Okay, so maybe that's a pointer to quickly round up. Yeah, so there's a picture of this guy who's hammering away at some rocks, and of course the goal is to be able to get access to this jewel that is just lying behind there, right? So he keeps at it, but just midway, just at the point where there's just a few inches to hitting the goal, he gives up and he walks away. And I think that that's what really happens to a lot of us when we're trying to achieve a goal. You want to do a PhD, you've tried, you've gone into the program, and you have a difficult supervisor, and like, you know what, I'm just tired of this, I'm just going to stop, and I'm just going to abandon it. I'm just going to leave us with the word of a former American president that I think that is very instructive. It's something to ponder on. It says, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not, even if you're gifted, if you're the most talented singer, you're the most talented musician, nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is also a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated failures. Persistence and failure alone are omnipotent. The slogan's press on has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Thank you. I hope that you found the session really worthwhile.
Thank you so much. You have given us recommendations of books and films to read. Probably you just put on the chat box where we can get some of these books or your recommendation, either at your bookshop or wherever, it's important. So we'd like to thank you very much for a very, very thought-provoking lecture that you have given us. It's reawakening of some of the things that we, have thought about, and then make us to be resilient and continue to pursue our goals. And you also mentioned that sometimes they say, think outside the box. I anchored the program once when the lecturer said, don't just think outside the box, shatter the box so you can achieve your goals. Yusuf said, shatter the box. Yes, why the president of, that's why who is the president, chairman of Nigeria Economic Summit Group. Thank you for your very, very thought-provoking lecture. You have motivated us, sharing your personal experiences, sharing things that would make us to, failure is not necessarily a failure, or not performing presently is not necessarily a failure. You are learning through the process of not repeating the mistakes you have made to also, achieve the success that you desire, So we thank you for your lecture, which I think we must have elicited some queries and clarifications that people will want to, seek from you. So like we said, before we get to the comment session, if there's any immediate questions that you want to ask, I'm talking to the platform now, members of the platform, kindly use the chat box to input your questions there so that the guest lecturer can see that and also, attend to them before we get to the goodwill messages. Again, let's appreciate all those who are on the platform. We appreciate you so well. Somebody quietly walked in. I think we will not be noticed. Let us thank our father, our mentor, who has been there from day one too. I think it was chairman of education when we did the formal launch at the Luth. Alhaji Rafiu Adisa Ibiti, thank you very much for joining us. You're always with us from day one, and you're still here with us. And we thank you. There are other people here. Some people, because it's a webinar, you think you will not be noticed. The icon is always there to indicate this is the era of technology. We have Honorable ABK Afolabi. We have Mr. Olufemi Adegbe. We have Mr. Idowu Akinleye. We have Mr. Billy Ogunshola. Himself and the wife has donated 300K, whooping. We have Alhaji Biti Rahman also donated. I'm going to give update on that. That's where we are now. We have my own Amira, Hajia Mariam Renike Saba, she's on the platform. We have Dr. Tolu Rahman. We have Mrs. Afusat Damama, Hajia Fausat Ukuniyi, my mommy, I dug my heart. Hajia Ganiat Adedotu. These are some of the, if I don't call your name, it's not out of slight. We appreciate all of you. Again, we are at the point now where you may keep the donation running in, but before then, let's quickly run through those who have donated even before we enter the webinar. Let me run through the list again so that we remind us to do, we're encouraged to follow suit. Professor Simiat Elias, 50K. Mr. Michael Monsoya, 20K. We have Mr. Zainab Boteso, 10K. Ibrahim and Waliat Abdulkarim, 150K. Give us the pound sterling. Mr. Abdul Hamid Obileye and Mustafa Jolade, 150K. We need the pound sterling. I know where you are. Tobilola Inade, 100K. Prince Akitayo Akiyemi, 100K. Mr. Akinpelu Akinlabi, chairman of the day, 1 million naira. Thank you very much. Professor Kumbi Banjo, 150K. All these drivers are also spending. I'm encouraged. Mr. Dotun Oyinade, guest speaker for the day, 300K. He just gave us a wonderful presentation. Without us even paying him, he has donated. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. That will probably take care of 2 student scholars. We have Elijah and Hajia Biti Rahman, 100K. Hajia Muiba Bas, 100K. And you know, the guest of honor announced by himself earlier on, Alhaji Musbaudin Adewale Oyefeso. He gave us 250K. He didn't stop at that. I'm sure the money will come from his pocket. Then the wife, the revered wife, the Olori, Alhaja Fatima Oyefeso, and the children also gave cumulative of 250K. So meaning 500K from the family of Oyefeso. Dr. Billy and Foluke Ogunshola, classmates of the prof in-house. 300K from both of them. Thank you so much. Alhaji and Hajia ABK Afolabi, 200K. My humble self, on the behalf of Ames Media, 100K. Then we have Afolabi. Okay, I've announced this one. It's still, they will do that, I'm sure, before we finish the webinar. So this is where we are. Do I yield the floor to Alhaji APT for his comments and donation? That's where we are now. And then maybe we have other people indicating to give some pep talk and give us their donation as it were. What is the Chairman BOT? 150K. Yeah, I just got that from the chat box. Thank you, sir, for all you do, all the encouragements and all of that. Guest lecturer, can you please, account details? Yes, where's the account details? It was shared earlier. Let me quickly read it out. It's a GTB account. GTB account is FAJIM Medicare Foundation 0459284348. It's on the chat box. Please let us access it and give our donation. So, Alhaji, if you are with us, you are not very clear here. It's probably you are in transit. Can you talk to us while we are here, sir? You may need to unmute and talk to us just on pep walk, 1-2 minutes. We're fine with that. Alhaji Rafiu Ebiti, sir.
Okay, he's still there.
He's there. I'm seeing him. But
He
he's
has
like
to
he's in
unmute.
motion. He's
He
in
has
motion.
to unmute.
Alhaji, are you with us? Can you unmute? Probably want to call him. Otherwise, any other person want to talk? This is the point of the fundraising now. And I'm sure we want to appreciate the good things FAJIM is doing.
Alhaji is in transit.
Yes, I can see that. He probably just listening to us. But you can send whatever you want to. Kindly use the chat box for us so that we can communicate to the platform. Alhaji, if you can hear us. Lecturer, I'm sure you have seen the question on the chat box. And it reads, at what point does perseverance does not turn into obsession? Because some people tend to persevere on a particular thing in their life till it turns into obsession. And the follow-up to that question is, I'm happy you talked about smarts. The realistic goals that we must set for ourselves. You probably have a school setting, you said, that's just a typical example. In 5 years, I want to be a PhD holder. Is that a realistic goal? So these are some of the clarification that you may want to clear for us that we seek. So you must have seen the question on the platform on the chat box. Perseverance not turning into obsession. Just take note of it so that we can come back to you. Take note of it. We are still on the fundraising now. Yes, who is talking? Who is donating? The chairman of the day has given us 1 million. The family of Oyefeso 500K. The Akinlabi gave us 300K, the guest lecturer 300K. So they've just been rolling in. Haja Muiba Bas 100K. Is my mommy Alaja Oguni, is she ready to talk to us? Haja Amira Saba, are you here to talk to us? We need to hear your voice and your donation. I know you have a project at hand, but we have to also do this. Who is talking to us?
Check your chat box.
I'm on it. Okay. Obsession can be, I've read that.
Check your WhatsApp.
Okay. As a BOT chairman, I've said that. He has given us 150K. Alaja Riscott Yusuf from New York. Caught asleep because she's in New York. Nice to be here. We are waiting for the dollars. You will bring us dollars. Okay. Alaji said he's in transit. We took note of that. Yes. Okay. So who is speaking? Who is speaking? Unmute and talk to us. We have more donors here. Haji Ashonaike has given us 250K. She announced that during her presentation. I think I've noted that. Mr. Numan Adekwaju, 10K. Naim Adekwaju, 25K. BOT have announced that. Fumi Ogumodede, 30K. Who else? Who else want to join the train? We need to move. We need to move. If you can't, if you are not remitting now, make a pledge. It's all for good. Whatever you donate is not in waste. It multiplies in multiple folds. Aja Idowu, Mr. Idowu Akinleye, 200K. 200K. Who is saying we should manage 100K? This one is not management too. It's a lot of money, and by God's grace, we will multiply in 300 folds. Aja Gani at Adedotun, 100K. Thank you so much. Just be reassured that all this money you are sending in the next 2-3 weeks, they will multiply from sources you don't even expect at all. That's the power of Sadako and charity, you know. So some of us think that when we make donations like this, to receive in our own earnings. No, we are still waiting. We are still waiting. We thank all those who have donated. Okay, we move. We are still on the program. So while we await your donation, we move on to other parts of the program now. So do we yield ground for the questions and goodwill messages before we bring in Professor Banjo to make her own presentation? Prof, I need to take your permission.
Yes.
Okay, so lecturer, you want to answer the question pending?
All right, thank you, ma. Yeah, thank you so much for the feedback that we've gotten around, some of the questions raised. I wanted to highlight the points made by Mr. Leko Goshola, which I think reinforces the point around, you want to do something, you didn't get what you wanted, and then, not giving up, and going back to find a way to ensure that you're able to still pursue your dream. Mr. Oladosu Akin's question around, at what point does perseverance turn into obsession? Because some people tend to persevere on a particular thing in their lives till they turn into an obsession. So yeah, that's a possibility. Some people are They become obsessed about some things, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Because you always think about obsession as only something that is negative. There's some of the things that have made a huge difference in our lives.
Can we mute, please? Can we mute? Let's mute for a lecturer to let's concentrate.
Some of the inventions, some of the tools that we use today that have made a huge difference in our lives and our well-being as human beings are all product of obsession, right? You should think of something like the iPhone, that a lot of people use today. The guy who created it, who designed that particular product, was really obsessed about, coming up with just the perfect phone that would become a hit with people, right? So I don't think that obsession should be viewed necessarily in a negative light, right? Some people are obsessed about, they just want to ensure that they achieve the goal, right? And as long as that goal is positive, and it's, like our mother said, around ensuring that it is realistic, right? The point around you're a school set older and you say in 5 years you want to become a PhD. I don't think that's possible, right? But as long as it's a realistic and achievable goal, you could say it's healthy to be obsessed about it, and so obsession should not necessarily be viewed in a negative light. So if you have a goal, if it's a smart goal, ensure that it's a smart goal, I beg your pardon, meaning that it's specific. So what do you want to achieve? I want to become a professor of medicine, right? Is it measurable? Meaning that you're taking incremental progressive steps towards that goal, right? In a way that you can measure. Is it achievable? Yes, it's achievable. It's something that you can achieve. You can become a professor of medicine. Is it realistic, right? Is that goal realistic to say, well, you're not, you're still young, and so that means that in a 20-year horizon, you can become, a professor, right? Or is it time bound to say, okay, within the space of this particular year, within a decade, within 15 years, within 20 years, you can become a professor. So that's a healthy goal, and you can be obsessed about that goal, which is a positive thing, so not necessarily a negative thing. Yeah. I hope I've done justice to that question.
Yes, you have very well, because it's important that you talked about obsession using the phone.
Yes.
It's something that is a bother and of a concern to a lot of you. That's not the focus, particularly our target audience now. I mean, how do we draw the line between obsession with the gadgets and obsession with a goal that you have set for yourself? It's becoming a major concern that we get upset with the negative things that will not really add value to achieving our goals. And then, before you answer that question, we also have an additional donation from First Option, and that's from our engineer, who is also one of us in FAJIM, Engineer Adedeji Adepoju. Thank you so much for the contribution. You are just contributing to your post, really. Thank you very much. We still encourage others to do same. So can you just clarify that bit before we move on to the next question?
All right, thank you, Ma. Yeah.
Obsession, yes, can be positive, but there's a lot of negative aspects to it.
Absolutely, Ma. So I agree that I've sort of dwelt only on the positive side without being addressing that bit around. Now, so on our journey to achieving our goals, there are things that are obstacles. There are things that are distractions, and that's what I would call just being obsessed with gadgets, right? And I think it's those of us who are much older. I think it's sort of really hard for us to relate with. So when I was in high school, the only distraction I had then was the TV in the house, and thankfully it was at the point where my parents could not just be bothered about having a TV box because there were so many other things to worry about, putting food on the table. But today, young people, students, even those of us who are professionals, who are working adults, we also struggle with things like the phones. Some people are obsessed with Twitter, they're obsessed with Instagram, and those things can be distraction. But then, surprisingly, some of the ways through which you can break that obsession is also through persistence, through perseverance, right? Resolving that I want to stop being distracted by my phone, right? And some simple way, for instance, that I've recommended that I've also used when I feel like I'm getting distracted is I keep my phone away from my work area, right? Some days, if I want to work in my study, I leave my phone in my room so that I'm able to concentrate, right? Some people would say the internet distracts them. They would ensure that the work tools that they are using is not connected to the internet so that they can, focus solely on their, right? So we should think about the things that distract us. Could be phones, could be maybe a series, and then ensure that we are holding ourselves accountable. I stressed a particular point when I was talking about how to improve our persistence skill, which is like having a community of support around us, and that community of support can be people that help us, that keep us accountable, right? To say, oh, I've said I don't want to, spend so much time on my phone, right? And then we have somebody we're accountable to say, okay, today I spent just 1 hour on my phone. Tomorrow I just spent 30 minutes, or the next day, completely I can do without getting on Twitter or Instagram or all of those apps that distract us. So I think that those are some of the ways in which we can, keep away from those distractions as young people and even as adults as well.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your clarification. Please don't go away. The questions may still come before we round off the event. More donations have started rolling in. I've mentioned that of first option. Elijah, our mother of the day, has made good her pledge, donating 250,000 naira. Thank you so much. We also have our mother, I don't want to call them mother-in-laws or father-in-laws. They've also lent a voice all the way from America. Alhaji Moruf Amurewa Lawal, 200K. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So while we await others, I think this is the right time for Professor has been very quiet. We don't hear any murmuring or whispering from her side. I'm not talking of, this is a house of profs. So when I say professor, let me distinguish and, differentiate them. She's already ready to make her presentation. People will not know that I even knew her before Professor Abdul Karim. She even led me to Professor Abdul Karim, and they have even been more like a Siamese twins. Sometimes I wonder, do these people even have some form of disagreement at all? The way you see them from the professional stable up to this FAJIM, this friendship is made from heaven, and
Yes,
with
it
even
is.
with the slight differences. It is a Ramoshi Polowo Ini. Permit me to bring in professor of professors, teacher of teachers from no other institution than Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Professor Kumbi Banjo. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'd like to stand on existing protocols and thank you all for staying with us this far. I'm going to be going through the list of FAJIM scholarships awardees for the 2024 to 25 session. Yes. The awardees are spread across 8 institutions in Nigeria, with UI topping the list. And the courses that we're giving scholarships to for this year include 3 in nursing, 3 in pharmacy, 6 in dentistry, and 27 in medicine. So these are the pictures of the awardees and their names. The first being Mubarak Oluwaseun Agbola Pharmacy Unilag, Ishmael Abdul Rabik Olamide Medicine Lautech, Abigail Olawumi Oyedokun Medicine UI, Lumisola Sofumi Ayomide Nursing UI, Jamiu Moyosori Olaojo Medicine OAU, Ayomide Emmanuel Oyekon Medicine UI, Ayomide Emmanuel Badamosi Dentistry OAU, Praise Adedolapo Kewole Medicine UI, Adeoke Adeosun Adeseun Medicine UI, Samuel Olatunde Oladeji, Medicine UI. Mujib Oladosu, Medicine Lautech. Adewale Bayo Sherifdeen, Medicine Lautech. Barakat Ayomide Akinyemi, Nursing, University of Ilorin. Excuse me. Nusabak Adiola Adewale, Pharmacy Unilag. Rabiu Sherifdeen, Oshola, Medicine Lautech. Olaniyan Oyewumi, Medicine Lautech. Alonge Adebayo Razak, Dentistry UI. Basit Babajide Badmus, Medicine UI. Timileyin Israel Okunla, Medicine OAU. Kudus Abola On Ibrahim, Pharmacy UI. Yusuf Olatunji Jimoh, Medicine UI. Abidemi Samsula Ivola, Medicine Unilag. Adetoba Emmanuel Adedeke, Medicine UI. Ibrahim Olayinka Badmus, Medicine UI. Yusuf Aderemi Rahim, Medicine Lautech. Samuel Oluwaseyin Badejo, Medicine Unilag. Kayode Joshua Adewale, Medicine Futa. Godwin Mufifoluwa Oyewale, Medicine UI. Muniat Kehinde Ajadi, Medicine Ilorin. Favour Foluwasho Olabode, Dentistry OAU. Miriam Adiola Aikori, Pharmacy Usman Hudo University Sokoto. Barak Olakunle Olasupo, Medicine OAU. Medicine Olabisi Onabanjo University. Mustafa Oluwabusola Salawudeen, Medicine UI. Tumise Adediran, Dentistry UI. Taoyib Mojisola Ige, Medicine Lautech. Musa Ayiki Akonde, Medicine Lautech. Lolapo Taoyib Bamigbayan, Dentistry OAU. Timileyin Zainab Ekundayo, Dentistry OAU. Abubakar Tunde Abdul Hakim, Medicine OAU. I want to say congratulations to all these awardees, and I pray that they'll have success in the exams and that they'll be good ambassadors of FAJIM Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our prof, Professor Kumbi Banjo, consultant pathologist, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. He's also a member of the BOT.
State.
Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Don't mind me. You are a tutor in that regard, you know. He's also a member of the BOT of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. They are Siamese twins. So we are now on goodwill messages. Anybody who wants to give us pep talk for this program we have had today? We've done very well with time, even though I was...
Check your WhatsApp.
Hello, ma. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Riskat Omolara Yusuf. I want to give a quick goodwill message. I want to stand on the existing protocol. I seek refuge from Almighty Allah from their cause, Shaitan. Auzubillahi minash shaitani rajim. May the peace and blessings of Almighty Allah be on our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I brought felicity from Organization for Non-Formal Education Foundation. Currently, I'm in New York City for a courtesy visit to present what the civil society and faith-based organizations are doing at the grassroots level in Nigeria. Also, to solicit collaboration, partnership, and support for most of our local programs. Sustainable development goal, as we all know, We started from 1990, Education for All. That takes us from 1990 to 2000. From 2000 to 2015, we are talking about Millennium Development Goal. From 2015 now to 2030, we are talking about global goals for development. So I want to congratulate my dear sister, my dear Aburo. I love her so much. FAJIM and the BOT members for this annual scholarship and educational program. Most of us that are para teacher, we love scholarship because out of school menace started from parents that are not capable to finance education. Most of the children will not just drop out. So in order to support children not dropping out, so that's why anybody that is doing education, you are in education sector, you will love what FAJIM Foundation is doing. So this is my first time of being able to give opportunity to talk since the 6th year ago that they have started. So I want to congratulate myself, congratulate everybody in Nigeria. I will bring you all the goodies. The donation that ONAV is going to support will be in kind. I will bring projects, programs that everybody will be in peace and all our children will be educated. Thank you for giving me the audience. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. As you are coming, just come with the dollars too, so that the project can be properly facilitated. Thank you so much for all those who have donated either in kind or in cash. We'll read them out later on. We have these people on the platform that can give us pep talk, even if it's just about a minute, just to encourage us and acknowledge some of the things that we are doing at the foundation. Do we have Honorable ABK Afolabi on the platform to give us some pep talk? The donation, we are still awaiting donations from so many people. I've talked about that of First Option that came in a while ago. Mr. Idowu Akinleye, the Mother of the Day, has made good her pledge of 250. Donation from the Oyefoso family, 500K cumulatively. Professor that just gave us a rundown of the scholars, she had even made her own of 150K much earlier. A BOT chair, 150. Ibrahim and wife, 150. The Obileye and I think I had the 150. So it goes on and on. Our lecturer for the day, 300K. Our chairman for the day, 1 million naira. Nobody has matched that too. We are not saying that because he's chairman, he should be the highest donor. Somebody can decide to outshoot or overpower him in that regard. And please be reminded that even after the webinar, you can still donate. It's a worthy cause that would earn a lot of rewards, you know. So we are waiting for the pep talk now.
Madam
Messages.
Speaker,
Yeah.
can I?
Go on, please. Kindly just tell us your name briefly and then go on, please.
Okay, Ido Akinleye from California is territory here. Well, I've joined you from the beginning. Yesterday, I was even thinking it was yesterday, so I woke up very early to join,
Yeah.
but I later discovered that it was today. Well, on behalf of my family, the Akinleye family, I would like to congratulate the organizers of this scholarship. And I'm so impressed because this is the first time that I'll be joining them since they started. I've never really got a chance, but thank God for the Zoom. Also, I'm so impressed also for the presentations by the speaker on the title of the perseverance and the things that he has given to us. I think it was very encouraging. I want to add to the speaker's recommendations of books like Think and Grow Rich as well as so many other books. One other thing that I can add to perseverance is for many successful people, they are avid readers. The more you can read, the better for you. You gain strength from that. Many successful people that have failed, they gain more strength from the failures of other true books. And you can adopt majority of those authors as mentors. So, well, on behalf of myself, as I said, I want to congratulate my dear colleague, Professor Abdul Karim, and the members of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for that pep talk and encouraging words. It's now time to please keep the donation rolling in. Oh. The account details is on the chat box. Just access it there and make your donation for those who are yet to make. Those who have made, you still think that, oh, this is a worthy cause. Why can't I give more? You are still free to do that. So let's have our scholar now. I'm sure you know the position where you are to talk. Can we have our scholar make her presentation, or is he a he? Over to you, FAJIM scholar.
Awal is starting, and then Rebecca and Gladys.
Okay, Awal, let's have you, please. Awal, there's still room for one or two people to talk to us. Aja Fauzia, I'm sure you will want to give us some pep talk. And any other person on the platform. Where is Awal?
Okay, good.
This afternoon, you can tell us good afternoon. You just said good and you kept quiet. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
Is that Awal?
Yes, ma. Can I go ahead, ma'am?
Wait, let me, so
Let's
that you
see
can
him.
share your slide. Do you want to share it there? Where?
Prof, if you don't stop sharing, we cannot see his own.
Can you speak so that I can see you?
Okay, should I share my own slide?
Yeah.
It came in briefly now and left again.
Need to make him host to be able to do it. Let me see
Please
if I
continue
see her.
talking so that you make it easy for her to see you and make you a host. Yeah. Keep talking, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Olaoye Mohammed Awal Kuridi. So I've been a beneficiary of this wonderful FAJIM Medicare Foundation, and I must say I deeply once again appreciate Professor Abdul Karim, as well as the board of trustees and directors, and also every sponsor, every present and past sponsor of this foundation. Okay, shall share the screen. I'm currently a medical house officer with the Lagos State Health Service Commission. And like I said earlier, I'm proudly a beneficiary of the FAJIM Scholarship Program. Next slide, please. So what are my achievements as a FAJIM scholar? As a FAJIM scholar, there were a lot of benefits aside the immense monetary value of the scholarship, because as at then, you were given a check of about 150,000 naira as every scholar that we awarded the scholarship then. And aside the monetary value, there were also some benefit that we gained that I personally benefited from. Examples include mentorship with top leaders in various fields and disciplines, healthcare practitioners, entrepreneurs who were doing so well in their fields. FAJIM will ensure that they created these mentorship sections where we were groomed on soft skills, leadership skills, and things like that. Next slide, please. One of such scenarios was a mentorship session with Dr. Olayemi Daudu. She's a consultant pathologist, medical director, and chief executive officer of Cleaner Lancet Laboratories. For those who know Cleaner Lancet, they run radiological program, radiological scans, like all these X-ray, pathological scans, etc. So we're privileged to have after the mentorship sessions, Dr. Olayemi Daudu, through the association with Professor Fatima Abdulkarim, she encouraged us to reach out to her in case of anything. And such kind of open invitation would not have been possible without the mentorship section, because I personally, when you look at the MD of, our Cleaner Lancet is a very big company, and then the MD is telling us, okay, because I know you people, I know you, all of you in this meeting are ambassadors of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. I would like, if you have any, if you want to reach out to me, this is my email, this is my personal phone number, reach out to me, which was how I benefited from that, because I was the L2 chairman in 2023. I was the L2 chairman, and we had this symposium where we invite speakers from different fields of relating to healthcare to come and speak to us, talk to us about anything they know about that can help we upcoming medical students. And with these numerous medical sections, I've been able to improve on my soft skills, and I've been able to win several awards, which include the Ideal Medical Student 2023, the Most Resourceful Medical Student, and I was nominated twice as the L2 chairman for 2 years consecutively. Next slide, please. Also, being a FAJIM scholar gives us the opportunity to give back to the society through their regular outreach programs. And this act alone, it helps to build your confidence and clinical acumen skills. When you go on outreaches, you see the cases you read in textbooks, the theoretical part, you see them in real life, and you figure that, oh, there's more to life aside what we see in the hospital environment. This is all thanks to FAJIM Medicare Foundation. Next slide, please. My next step now is to complete my housemanship. I'm still currently in my housemanship phase, which is for a year. I also possibly prepare for exams for residency while exploring other opportunities outside of clinical medicine. As you all know, the world, clinical medicine is still the basics of a medical knowledge. However, at some point, there will be need for people to look beyond clinical medicine and see what other opportunities the medical school has built you for, aside the regular pathway. Next slide, please. So once again, I want to appreciate FAJIM Medical Care Foundation for the scholarship, for the mentorship, for even after medical school. Professor Abdulkarim keep checking up on all of us, asking us what's going on, trying to keep up to date with whatever we are doing. It's a very, very superb gesture, and I genuinely appreciate it. And on behalf of every other beneficiary, either past or present, I want to say a big thank you once again. Wishing FAJIM Medicare Foundation be a bigger platform, bigger sponsors, so that they can be able to reach out to a lot of other students that will need and benefit from what we are being privileged to benefit from. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we have the next caller? FAJIM keeps adding value to people's lives. Who?
Rebecca or Gladys, whichever one.
Rebecca is online.
Okay.
Rebecca, ma.
Go on.
All right. Good afternoon.
Wait, let me see if I can get a slide.
All right, ma.
What's the title of your slide again?
FAJIM presentation.
FAJIM
Presentation.
Where are you? So I can give you so you can share. Can't find it.
Can you make her an admin? Give her a
Yeah.
power of sharing. You have to stop sharing your own for her to be able to, for us to be able to see her own. We're still awaiting more donation. We've done very well with time. We'll soon round off now. We are now on our last lap.
Lola, speak so that I can see you. Okay, yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, I've made you co-host, so share your slide.
All right, ma.
Stop sharing your own, Prof.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Rebecca, you can go on.
Okay, ma. I'm
Are you
sorry.
searching for your slide?
Yes, ma.
You got it now?
Not yet.
We couldn't get the father of the day, Prof. It's still not on the platform. We're here to, that's the only item outstanding on the program.
Okay, I found your slide, Rebecca. Let me
Okay, so
share.
to save time, you can share for her. Thank all of you for staying through to the platform. We still have quite a number of people here. Okay, Rebecca, you can go on while Prof shares your slides.
All right, ma. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Professor Karim. I'm grateful for this privilege and I do not take it for granted. So my name is Damlola Rebecca Okumi and I attended Obafemi Awolowo University where I studied nursing science. So 2 weeks ago, I got inducted into the nursing profession, and then last week I had my convocation ceremony at Obafemi Awolowo University. So I was privileged to be a FAJIM scholar when I was in part 2. I saw the advert for scholarship and then I tried to register for the scholarship, and then I was sent invite to come for exam at LUT. Then I went for the exams, and after the exam, we had interview session. And then from there, I saw the message that I've been awarded. That I was so happy for this. So I want to celebrate Professor Fatima Abdul-Karim and also the team for this great opportunity. I do not take it for granted. So as a scholar, a lot of achievements has been made by me actually. And the first thing I'll be talking about is catering for my needs in school through the awards given. And I can remember the last award I was given. It was at the time when I was preparing, I ought to write a professional exam actually. That is registered public health exam. So then I was trusting God for fund to pay for the exam. But luckily for me, it was the time when we were awarded the money, we were given the money. So through that, I was able to pay for my professional fee, and then I wrote the exam, and to the glory of God, I'm now a registered public health nurse. So the slide, ma. So the second thing I've achieved as a scholar is the desire and passion to give back to the community, because there was one medical outreach I attended then at Igora. That should be when I was in part 3 years. It was at Igora. I was privileged to attend the outreach, and it stirred up the desire in me and the passion even to do much more, Since then, it has been part of my goal and it has been part of my desire for the future. And when I was on campus, when I was an undergraduate, I see to it that every opportunity I had then to volunteer or to give back to the society, I ensure I did all those things then. So I volunteered for medical outreaches then and a lot of programs then. Then another thing as a scholar, this foundation has really helped me a lot, because those webinars that were being organized by the foundation, it has really helped a lot. Yes, it has really helped a lot. The soft skills webinars were taught, it has really helped me a lot, because I applied what were taught for a program I attended online. It was a mentorship session. So I joined the program online, and through that, I volunteered to be the leader of the program. And since we were taught, there was one webinar we had in FAJIM. It's centered on leadership. Yes, it's centered on leadership. So I was able to apply to the skills and what I've learned through the webinars. And at the end of the program, I was awarded the overall best participants from the program. So I want to appreciate FAJIM Foundation for this great privilege. And then I tried out new things through the assignments given by the foundation, which helped to broaden my skills. I remember during COVID, we were given some projects to do, we were given some assignments to do, and there are some things that I've never tried for once in my life. So when we were given the assignment, I was like, how will I go about it? And this is something that I need to do. So through that, I just started out then. I began to gather ideas together on how to go about some things. And through that, it has really helped me a lot regarding other aspects of my life too, because I tried out some new things, and it all started from FAJIM. It all started out from FAJIM. So my next steps, what I'm planning to do next. And one of the things I've learned so far, even from Professor Fatima Abdulkarim herself, I've learned a lot of things from her, because I see her as a leader with vision. Like she has a particular, like she has a lot of vision, and I was like, if a lady or if a woman can achieve all these things, then definitely for me, these are something that I can also do too. So part of my hallmark or part of my mantra is that growth is progressive. Yes, I won't stop growing and I won't stop learning. So growth is progressive. Then I'll be starting my internship program soon. By the grace of God, next year I'll be starting my internship program, and then I will continue to give myself to continuous growth through personal development, going for conferences, seminars, reading books that will help to grow me, like that will aid my growth, and then looking for every avenue to give back to the society. Yes, this is my long-term vision, and every opportunity I have, I will ensure that I'm always giving back to the society. So thank you so much, Professor Fatima Abdulkarim. Thank you to all the team members of this foundation. Thanks for how you help me, how you aid to my growth. I do not take this for granted.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation. We appreciate you too. Just continue to be focused and maintain your goal trajectory. Thank you so much. Do we have any other person for this on this segment?
Gladys.
Gladys, make it very snappy, but we are losing participants already. If you can make your presentation in 2, maximum 3 minutes, we'll appreciate it. Over to you, Gladys.
Have I shared? Gladys, are you there?
Are you sure she's on the platform? If she's not on the platform, who is meant to give the vote of thanks? Or do we still have anybody who wants to give a goodwill message?
Yes, Alaja Fauzat
I told her earlier, she cannot come here. I will not get pep talk from her. Mommy, are you there? While we wait for, is Gladys ready now?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And before I go into protocol, I was so fascinated by the last speaker, the beneficiary, Rebecca. She gave a good hope about giving back. And my challenge now is for FAJIM. We need to create a tracking process for this giving back, so we'll be able to expand the momentum on this foundation so they can pass the torch to other people. Maybe they will form a kind of alumnus of beneficiaries, so we will be able to sustain the leadership that you have inculcated in them. And then by that way, they can also bring in more people. They can also sustain the giving back into society. So without much ado and without any other, I'd like to also acknowledge the distinguished guests here, the trustees of FAJIM Medicare, and the esteemed scholars, as well as every distinguished person that is on this platform. To me, I feel with a lot of admiration and the respect for the impactful work of FAJIM Medicare Foundation. And we pray that it continues to do the transformation on the lives through education and healthcare. As we all know, education is the cornerstone of personal and societal growth. By investing in the education of these young, brilliant minds, I believe over the years, FAJIM Medicare is not just empowering individuals, but is also strengthening the communities, as we can see from all the achievements and the landmarks that they have made. They are also inspiring a legacy of excellency and purpose. And I notice also the scholars that we are celebrating today, they are well-groomed. And so I have an assurance that if they can give back to the society will be better for it. So I commend the foundation for believing in the dreams. The healthcare, on the other hand, ensures vitality of those dreams. FAJIM's dual focus on education and health embodies a powerful vision, one that nurtures the mind and body, creating a holistic approach to human development. This dedication to the well-being and future of others is truly the work of heroes. So, Sister Fatima, you are a hero that needs to be celebrated. And I know Allah will grant you benefit in this world and in the hereafter. And all the team that have been supporting you. To the scholars being recognized today is a moment to reflect on the powerful opportunity that they have had with FAJIM Medicare. This has provided you with a bridge to achieve greatness. It is now up to you, like I said at the beginning, to walk boldly across it, driven by a sense of responsibility, determination, and gratitude. And like the last speaker said, he also is looking towards developing her leadership skills, which will go a lot for her to also give back to the society. And now that their success has the potential to inspire others and create ripples of positive changes in the world, I know the sky is not their limit. And then to the foundation and the supporters, I extend my deepest gratitude on behalf of FAJIM. This is a project that I've always admired. I may not have been able to give much financial support, but right in my heart, I know that this is one thing that if it happens in this society, we'll be able to get rid of joblessness, be able to get rid of poverty, and so on and so forth. Your selfless commitment and unwavering belief in the transformative power of education and healthcare are a shining example of what can be achieved when people come together, just like your mantra, for a noble cause. May you continue to flourish in your mission, touching lives and nurturing future leaders. Thank you for allowing me with this little piece.
This little piece, you that I know so well, you are a woman of few words, and you have made your time to talk to us on this lengthy thing. Thank you very much. Our mother, Laja Fauzat Oguniyi, FCA. Thank you so much for lending a voice and for the motivational words. Do we still have anybody to give some testimonial? I mean, from the scholars now. Do we still have Rebecca there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Prof is ready for you. Please summarize your presentation. Thank you.
Is Gladys there?
Oh,
okay.
Sorry. Gladys is what I meant to ask.
It's not okay. We have two of us scholars here with us, and one of them wants to speak.
Okay, is that okay? So that will be the last one, right? Because we are losing participants already.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so who is giving the vote of thanks? The person should start standing.
Samson will give vote of thanks.
Who is that?
One of the scholars. One of the scholars is here. You can come.
So is it the one, are we doing that now? Is it the vote of thanks going on now or just a testimonial?
One of the awardees that wants to speak.
Sorry, what are we having now? Is it vote of thanks or the scholar, the testimonial?
The scholar. And then after
Okay.
the vote of thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, good
Go
afternoon,
ahead.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I would like to.
Your name?
My name is Agbola Mubarak Oluwaseun, a third-year pharmacy student from the University of Lagos, Nigeria. So, first of all, I would like to thank FAJIM Medicare Foundation, particularly the person of Professor Abdulkarim Fatima, for this wonderful opportunity, because so far it has really assisted me in setting my bills, academic bills in school. I've been able to work very hard to actually come out great, and it also gives me an encouragement to be able to give back to the society, and also this is an encouragement for others too to do well. So on this note, I would once again pray to Almighty God to keep assisting Professor Fatima Abdulkarim, and hopefully I believe that FAJIM Medicare Foundation is going bigger and growing wider by the special grace of God. So thank you very much. God bless all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody that has stayed with us on the platform. We particularly appreciate the chairman, BOT, chairman of the events, and everybody. We still have quite a number of people on the platform. So it's now time for proper votes, appreciation. Let's yield the floor to one of the scholars who would thank everybody that has come. But let me also especially acknowledge my sister Ade Dotun Ade, who was supposed to co-anchor this with me, but for a short of time and all of that. But I'm sure we have made the desired impact. So over to you for the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again to the distinguished members of the board, the guests of honor, and my fellow scholars. My name is Olaiwola Bidemi Samson. I'm a 50-year medical student in University of Lagos, Booth, and permit me to stand on existing protocols established by people that have spoken before me. On behalf of myself and the other scholars, we really want to thank FAJIM Medicare Foundation for what they are doing. You know, from the theme, power of perseverance, you people have endured for us to overcome these obstacles, to achieving all these possibilities. And we do not really take this for granted. I want to thank you for supporting us through our dreams. Not really easy, considering the economic downturn. But you guys will always have our back, and we say thank you very much. And we pray that the divine creator, the Almighty, who lives above, will grant us all of our wishes and may keep us safe and give us the strength, the courage to continue to do this. Thank you very much. We really say thank you.
Thank you.
Urabio,
Yes.
we're also thanking you too. So we now have to call on the chairman of the day to give us his closing remarks. You made a promise to stay all through in spite of your very busy schedule. And we appreciate that so much. So give us your final words. Prof, I can see you. Thank you. Thank you. So over to you, Chairman. Thank you for staying put with us. For your closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
To everybody that have stayed with us so long on this program of today. It's been a worthy way of using our time today. Many of us have a lot of places to be, but we have decided to stay here. I'm actually encouraged by the anchor, the person that anchored this program, that said, don't breathe in, breathe out, just stay. And I promise, and I've stayed all through. And I know that God that rewards people will reward me and everyone that have stayed all through.
Amen.
I want to say that I don't have any regrets staying on through, because at the last aspect of the program, which has to do with the people that have been awarded this scholarship in the past, talking, I'm deeply touched by what they said, talking about their experience, talking about not only the education they have acquired as medical students, but also the leadership experience they have gained through FAJIM. It's been it's something that my heart so deeply. There is no way of training people or making people somebody of substance in society apart from actually teaching them that leadership quality which you have imparted in these people. So I want to congratulate FAJIM. I want to congratulate the founders and everybody that has participated one way or the other into the program of today and has been participating since the inception of FAJIM. I want to encourage us all, just as the anchor of the program said, that it does not end here. The account of FAJIM is there for you. So even after this program, whether you have donated or not, if you are still willing or you are led to do more, you can do more. And God will bless you abundantly as you do this. So I want to thank everybody, Professor Karim, and my own brother that my mother handed me over to. Though we were classmates, but she believed that being with him, I can never get it wrong. And I really appreciate him, the BOT chairman, Elijah Abdul Karim, for just like Professor said, that he allowed us to have this foundation. So I want to thank him for allowing us to have this foundation for time. So thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I will allow these two songs, the Siamese twins in FAJIM, to give us the final words. The two profs. Oh yeah, final words from both of you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just want to thank everyone. It's not how much, but how well. All our friends, our in-laws, and I want to read out names again, even though I won't be able to read all. Those that are here and those that have not been here, but we are sure that they are with us. Elijah, let me start. Professor Simiat, Elias, Michael Omosani, Zainab Wepesho, children. Many of these donors are actually some of our volunteers. Michael, Zainab, they were our volunteers before they traveled outside the country. Abdulhamid Obileye, Mustafa Jolade, Ibrahim and his wife. My dear in-law, àwọn ọkọ mi, Tobilola Enyade, Professor Akintayo, and then our chairman of today, my dear friend, mentor and senior colleague, Professor Banjo, Dotun, that we're supposed to pay you. If you give that lecture elsewhere, you won't get less than $1 million, and you are donating again. Thank you. In-laws, Alaji Biti Rahman, Elijah Muiba Abbas, all of these people that I mentioned, they've been with us since the beginning. The immediate past president of Iguara High School Student Association 81 said, Dr. Billy and Foluke Mishola, and other classmates, BK, Honorable BK, Afolabi and the wife, Elijah Oyefeso, family and the children, Elijah Numan is my nephew, Naim Adepoju. Thank you, Fumi Ogumodede. Elijah Ganiat Adedukan is in the US. Anything we want to do, I didn't send her any personal invitation. She would always come and donate. And one of our classmates again, Mr. Idowu Akinleye, thank you. First option, thank you. And our in-law, the way from the US, Elijah and Elijah Maruf Muriwa Lawal, thank you. Our big sister, Ajia Fauza Toguni, my dear friend, Barrister Aja Fausat Boshe, Alaja, my Amira, Amida Sonny, and several others that I cannot mention. Thank you all very much. I pray that God Almighty will reward your donations, will reward your continued support of these children. And then as you're taking care of other people's children, be sure that God is already taking care of your own children too. Thank you very, very much. You will soon be hearing from us. And I can see Alaja Fusat Ulushola Damama here. Thank you very much. And then my sister is here with us in person, Aja Obatula Kende. Thank you very much. He has come to represent all the others. Thank you, everyone. Prof,
Thank you so much. That's okay, Prof.
So thank you very much. It's been a wonderful day. I want to thank our sister, the anchor, for a wonderful job she has done. I never knew she could raise so much money like that. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much. I think this is where we would draw
Sorry,
the
I
curtain.
like you, Rafiu EBT. You couldn't speak with us. Thank you. Mr. Femi Adiegbe, thank you. Mr. Mariam Saba, thank you very much.
Okay,
God
and all
bless
those
you.
cannot mention their names. So as much as we are drawing the curtain on the webinar today, we have not drawn the curtain on the donation. It's continuous.
Yes.
The account has been shared, so just find it in a good place in your heart to support the cause so that your name will be written in gold here and hereafter. So thank you, and we thank everybody from the BOT chair to all the team leaders and the drivers. So God willing, you'll be hearing from us when we'll have the 6th edition this same time next year. So until then, bye-bye and continue to donate. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It was wonderful.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's a lovely
Bye-bye.
event.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
This one.
You all spoke very well.
Did very well. So you Prof will give you your
Prof, I
certificate.
greet you. Prof, I greet you.
Where is the shot?
How are you?
I'm fine.
Show your
Thank you. Good to hear from you, man. Thank you very much. Man.
Yes, I see your face.
Sophia, thank you. Okay, so you come back. Come in.